Welcome to Attracting Your Ideal Clients. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you about my invisible bridge strategy. I'm going to teach you how to attract those clients that understand the value of your education, the value of your time, and are willing to pay you what you're worth. We've all experienced those clients who don't want to pay for their sessions. They're constantly shopping for the next practitioner who's giving away free sessions, and they're not committed to actually working through their issues. That's not who we're looking for in this training. In this training, I'm going to teach you how to pull in the ideal clients. Now, it is a very quick training with a lot of information. So I need you to be active, I need you to be present, and I need you to be available while watching this training today. This has the power to really make a huge difference in your business. And so I need you, or I would love for you to be present and really give this training, even though it's free, the attention that it deserves. If you want a thriving energy healing business, I encourage you to set aside all distractions, maybe put some headphones on, and go ahead and go through this training when it is fit for you. If you have distractions right now, it may not be the best time. Maybe put it away and come back later when you're able to watch it without distractions. All right, my new friend, let's jump right in. All right, so today's training, we're going to talk about what this invisible bridge strategy is. We are going to talk about why it is important. We are going to address how to map out your personal invisible bridge and where you're going to use that invisible bridge. All right, so the invisible bridge is actually quite simple. It takes a person from where they are to where they need to be in order to buy from you. This concept is for those who have no knowledge of energy healing. They're confused by the concept of distance healing and are unsure of the validity of the method. These are basically strangers to both you and the idea of energy healing. They're brand spanking new. They haven't heard of the emotion code, the global energy method, trapped emotions, internal energies. They haven't heard of me or even Brad Nelson. They're complete strangers. Now, this is important because as healers, it's really easy to get into these energy healing groups that we're in and look for our clients there. Inside those groups, there's a ton of different practitioners all trying to set themselves apart and looking for those same clients. That's not really where you're going to be successful. If that is your strategy right now, is to find your clients in groups that already know about energy healing, well, I hate to break it to you, my friend, but you will never get past a side hustle. You need to reach the millions, if not billions, of people out in the world that are hurting and just waiting to hear your message. All right, so today I'm going to teach you how to do that. This strategy is to reach for those millions. There are not enough energy healers to really effectively benefit the amount of people needing help. There is not a scarcity of clients. It is just that we need to know how to reach those clients. And I'm going to show you the strategy I used. I used to be the practitioner inside the groups, looking for my client in there because I didn't have to explain to them what energy healing was. I didn't have to explain to them distance healing. I didn't have to explain to them the way muscle testing worked. I didn't have to get them to believe that an energetic shift could change their life. I didn't know if I understood it myself. So that's what I looked for. And I didn't make much money. That being said, once I implemented these strategies, you're going to see a little bit later, it made a huge difference. All right. With that said, this strategy is also immensely helpful for those who are introduced to energy healing, but maybe they're confused about the distance part. They might doubt that it can work at a distance, or maybe they're just leery about the whole concept. And they typically are skeptical about energy healing and if it really works. Or maybe they've decided to dive into energy healing, but they don't really know how to decide on a practitioner. They're concerned about choosing the wrong one, and they may even have religious limitations that are making that a very difficult choice. Now that we know who we're looking for and where they are now, let's talk about where they need to be. After using a successful invisible bridge strategy, these people will be ready to book a session with you. They're going to be clear on what energy healing is, and so will you, and they will understand the benefits to them and be ready to find you as their practitioner. They are going to get clear on how distance healing works, or they'll at least understand that it's possible. The distance healing is possible. They'll feel that it's worth a shot, and they're ready to put money out to experience it. They will have developed some type of belief in energy healing, and this belief and trust is still juvenile, but with the right practitioner, that's going to grow, and they will soon become that sold out client that has you working on all their family members and is referring you to all their friends. They also will be familiar and comfortable booking a session with you. The process that takes a person from a stranger without knowledge to purchasing a session with you is what I call the invisible bridge. And I'm going to teach you the exact strategy I used to grow my side hustle into a thriving energy healing business years ago. All right, so why is this important, right? Simply put, it's important so that you can fill up your schedule and make a living while helping people. I'm willing to bet many of you just got a little uncomfortable because it sounds like I'm talking about selling, right? In theory, I am, but that isn't the important thing here. There's a whole world of hurting people, and we can help them. Outside of the sales part, the strategy is going to help you build faith in energy healing as a whole. It's going to help you provide information that can spread energy healing to the millions of people just waiting for a solution to the things that are holding them back. It's going to create consistency in the language of energy healing. As healers, we learn modalities and then we're left to figure out the business side all by ourselves, at least with most modalities. The global energy method is created and run by healers who understand that doing that, not providing business support, not only discredits energy healing as a whole, but it discredits the methods that we're learning and you as a practitioner. So at the Global Energy Method, we don't do that. Every single Global Energy Method practitioner gets at least some free business support when they're going through their certification process. I personally help them build their business as they become certified so that Global Energy Method practitioners are the most active and successful of any modality. All right, so this strategy is also important because it keeps your schedule booked. Some may think that that's all about the money, and in a way it is, but it's more than that. Without a booked schedule, you're forced to turn to a brick and mortar job, doing things that aren't energy healing. Do you currently have a job that isn't related to your energy business? Many do. You see, if we keep our schedule booked, then it empowers us to open up more time. If you're working a different job other than energy healing, it will empower you to quit that job so that you can put your time and effort into what's important, touching more people, changing more lives, making a real difference in the ailments that are affecting this world. There are billions of people waiting for help. Even if every single energy healer were to optimize their time and never work outside the home again, there won't be enough energy healers to help them all. Filling your schedule gives you that financial ability to give space to touch the most lives possible. What is important is this: what you do changes lives. And I'm going to say that again because it's really, really important. If you're multitasking, come back to me. This is extremely important. I need you to know, believe, and understand that what you do changes lives. Some people think sales is slimy. And you might think you're not good at sales. Or maybe you feel like a burden when posting what you offer. You are, after all, a heart-centered healer that just wants to help people. But I'm going to teach you how to stop selling and start sharing information. How to make an offer for help and feel comfortable keeping a fully booked schedule because you're offering a solution. You're not just selling. You only need to be willing to help and care for others. By doing that, your services sell themselves. And if you are an energy healer, I know that without a doubt that you are passionate about helping and caring for others. So this is perfect for you. Your work gives people empowerment. It gives them joy. It gives them happiness. It gives them better health and so much more. What you do is a blessing, not a burden. Let me show you some examples. This is a real testimonial from one of my clients. She said, I was having a panic attack every single morning. That's how bad it had gotten. And this morning, I was just calm. I could breathe. Imagine if I was uncomfortable offering my services to this client, she would still be suffering from panic attacks every day. Another thing I want to mention about this client is she knew nothing about energy healing before I began working with her. I may not now, it may not no longer be true, but at the time, and for probably at least a year after, I was the only energy healer she had ever heard of. I was the only information she knew about energy healing. And without me being willing to do what I did, she would be bound. We free people from that bondage. You free people from bondage. Here's another one. I was thinking last night, everyone needs this. Nobody would fight or be depressed. I feel my depression just gone. It's like old thought patterns are inaccessible to me now. Depression gone? What we offer are solutions. They're real help and a new beginning for so many people. Once again, this was a brand new person to energy healing. This person had never experienced this before. Without me being willing to share this person would be suffering from depression today. But instead, she is living a fruitful life. And in fact, this client ended up becoming a practitioner, which I trained, and has now a very successful multi-six-figure business. All right. And since I know many of you are emotion code certified, I have one on a heart wall session. I am so much more clear, bright, and light since my heart wall session. wonderful work. I am so glad I got this for my birthday. Now, I know that you have testimonials like this too, and if not, you're probably quite new, and this is what you're going to be getting in the future. So I'll say it again. What you do changes lives. Whether you're in the certification process or working with people regularly, you need to understand very few people can impact change like you can. Very few people can impact change like you can. Now, you may be in energy healing groups and it looks like there's tons of practitioners, but in relation to the amount of people needing a practitioner, it is a fraction of a percent, not even 1%. So you are extremely valuable, my friend. What you do is extremely valuable and extremely needed. Very few people can impact change like you can. The human mind holds trauma that impacts us physically, emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically. You, my friend, have the unique gift of releasing these traumas, emotions, and energy from the hidden parts of the mind. Only a few thousand people have this ability, and you're one of them. Billions of hurting people are waiting for you to reach them. This invisible bridge is how you're going to do that. So now let's talk about how to map out your personal invisible bridge. There are 3 main things a person needs to go from a stranger without knowledge of energy healing to a loyal client. First, ask yourself, what does someone need to know in order to buy my services? What does someone need to believe to buy my services? And what does someone need to understand to buy my services? I know you may be asking yourself, what does she mean by this? And don't worry, I'm going to walk you through some examples in just a second. But first, the best way to convert strangers to clients is by choosing a specialty. It can be heart walls, it can be something to do with animals, or maybe it's kids, or maybe it's many other things. The key is defining a specialty is simply asking yourself, what comes easy to you? What lights you up? What topic or focus do you have the most interest in? What session is your favorite session to do? You're not bound to this specialty. You can and you will still work with everything else. But by choosing a specialty, you're going to become known as the expert for that thing. For example, my specialty is the endocrine system. This is my specialty because it's the thing that opened my eyes to energy healing. It's what I'm passionate about. It's what I love to study. Inside the endocrine system, the most common ailments that arise are anxiety, depression, and sleep imbalances. But other topics in the area of my specialty include things like imbalanced hormones, addiction, misfiring neurotransmitters, chronic fatigue, adrenal fatigue, and so much more. But I still do other things. I get requests to help with morning sickness every single week. And I'm referred for morning sickness at an extremely high rate because I've helped hundreds of women resolve morning sickness, oftentimes in just one session. But I don't focus any of my marketing on that because it's not my specialty. It's not what I want to be known for. Even though I do it every single week, even though I get a high rate of referrals, even though it is actually a very profitable piece of my business, it's not what I want to be known for. It's not the thing I enjoy the most. It's not the thing that lights me up, and it's not the thing that brought me to energy healing. So, although I might be considered a morning sickness expert in the field of energy healing, I do not focus on it. Someone has to refer me for them to even know that I'm that expert. And I do that for a reason, because I want to be known for my specialty. I want to be known for the endocrine system research and work that I do, not for morning sickness. And when you choose a specialty, keep that in mind, because it's not the only thing you do. It's just the thing that lights you up, the thing you want to be known for. Okay, so now we're going to go through some examples of building an invisible bridge chart that will help you build the content you need to post to create that invisible bridge. So in this example, you can see that we're working on anxiety. Anxiety is down at the bottom to the far right, the word at the far right. So from the top down, we have how to map out your personal invisible bridge. What does someone need to know, believe, and understand about me and their anxiety? And you can change anxiety to any topic that you want to inside your specialty. So what does someone need to know, believe, and understand? Well, first of all, they need to know who I am. If they don't know who I am, they're not going to book with me. They need to know that I'm the expert on anxiety. If they don't believe I'm the expert, why would they book with me? And they need to understand how to contact me to get a session. Even if they know who I am and they believe I'm the expert, if they have no way to contact me, well, they can't get a session. So I'm still not getting that booking on my schedule. So that's important. The next thing is they need to know that anxiety is a secondary emotion. It's not a primary emotion. It's not triggered by stimuli in the environment. It's triggered by trauma responses. It's not a primary emotion. So I need them to know that anxiety is a secondary emotion. And then another one would probably be that they need to know what a secondary emotion is. I don't have that on this chart, but that is another no that I would probably put in that category. Then they need to believe that anxiety is caused by a past trauma, not a current fear or situation. Anxiety is not based in the now. It's based in the past. So I need to create content that helps them believe that anxiety is a secondary emotion. Now remember, I've already got on there that it is a secondary emotion and what a secondary emotion is. So we're building content so that they can see this information and they can grow in their own understanding. And then they need to understand how trauma traps in the body and becomes that secondary emotion. So this is all social media content that we will be creating. Each box here is a separate social media piece. And as we post those, the potential clients are going to be seeing this, growing their information, and eventually booking with us and becoming loyal clients. So they also need to know that there's solutions to anxiety. They're not trapped by it. There are solutions. Anxiety is controllable. They need to believe that I have that solution. And they need to understand the logistics of that solution. Some of the logistics of the solution or of a session are things like that it's done by proxy. Distance is not an issue, so they don't have to be local to me. The session is an email session, so they don't even have to be in the same time zone. Maybe they're in India and I'm in the US and we're on opposite times. That's fine. I don't do phone call or Zoom sessions. All of my success was done with email sessions. And they need to understand that the session is not going to create more anxiety, and they do not have to relive the trauma. So they also need to know the cost of the session. Now, as you can see, that is probably at least 5 to 7 different social posts that I could create in just that one block. Now, this is a very brief example. So for just anxiety, there is many other things that they need to know, believe, and understand. So I know many of you are emotion code practitioners, so I'm going to do an example for a heart wall. The first row is very similar to mine. It's who you are, that you're the expert, and how to contact you to get a session. But then they need to know that emotions stay in the body. Without knowing that emotions stay in the body, why would they even believe that heart walls exist? Then they have to believe that they're limited due to those emotions staying in the body. And they need to understand how their life could change if they released their heart wall. They also need to know how to stop trapping emotions. Yeah, maybe we release that heart wall, but how do they stop trapping it? We don't want to continue creating heart wall after heart wall. And if you, my friend, are not sure how to stop trapping emotions, I know this isn't readily taught. If you don't know how to stop trapping emotions, go ahead and email me, lisa@globalenergymethod.com. I have a PDF guide that I can send you for free that will help you with, it can help you and your clients stop trapping emotions. So again, that's lisa@globalenergymethod.com if you want that free PDF. All right, and they need to believe that they are capable of empowering themselves and taking control of their emotional health. They need to understand how you can help with the journey of releasing the emotions and gaining power over those emotions. Now, I've created a blank slide here so that you can take a screenshot and use it to develop your own bridge pieces. I'm going to pause for a second as you grab a screenshot. All right, let's keep going. Those were just two very simple examples. They are definitely not exhaustive. There is still more know, believe, and understands for anxiety, emotion releases, and all the other things we as practitioners can do. But the most important piece to remember is this: what you do changes lives. And very few people can impact change like you can. This invisible bridge is going to be the way you get your message in front of that world of hurting people. You're gonna, you know what, let's go forward, because we're gonna talk now about where you're gonna put that. You're likely wondering, is it just social media? And the answer is no. You're going to find that this invisible bridge is used everywhere. You're going to use it in your social media. You're going to use it in your written content, including your emails. You're going to use it in your website copy. You're going to use it in any freebies that you offer. Virtually all content, you can use the invisible bridge strategy. You also use it in verbal conversations with potential clients, as well as when planning your promotions, events, giveaways, and any launches. Always remember, what do they need to know, believe, and understand to buy from me? All right, today we covered a simple but essential piece of building a successful energy healing business. We talked about what the invisible bridge is, which was the path in which strangers become loyal clients. We discussed the importance of getting our message seen by our ideal client. You know, those millions of hurting people. And we talked about how important what we do in those women, children, animals, and families' lives that are waiting for us to get our message out. We went over how to map out your personal invisible bridge and explored a couple examples of the process. Finally, we briefly spoke about where to use the invisible bridge. I'd like to encourage you to do just a bit of homework now. First, I want you to identify your specialty. What lights you up? What gives you the passion to be an energy healer? Write that down. That's your specialty. Now, people get caught up on this one because they're like, I'm not an expert though. I don't have this education or I don't have that. It doesn't matter. All you need is a 10% edge. What have you healed something for yourself? Have you improved something for yourself? What brought you here? Why are you an energy healer? That's your specialty. You don't have to be the expert of all experts, but to someone stuck who doesn't even know about energy healing, you are the expert. You're the expert to them. You may not be the expert of all experts, but you are a specialist in the knowledge that you do have. Once you define your specialty, I want you to think about 10 to 15 different topics that are related to that specialty and are important to address. So let's say the topic, like for mine, it's endocrine system. I could put the thyroid gland, the hypothyroid gland, the pineal gland, all the different glands. I could put anxiety. I could put depression. I could put all the different, endocrine-based disorders, or I could put hormonal imbalances, sleep imbalances, stuff like that. And obviously, you can put all of them. That's what you want to do, is come up with as many as you can. In the beginning, that's going to feel a bit awkward. If you can only come up with one or two in the beginning, that's fine. But you're going to find that as you begin to think about it, everything breaks up. There's so many topics that you're going to have a list of 50 in no time. So like, even let's say I was going to do the thyroid. Okay, well, what does trauma do to the thyroid? What is a thyroid hormonal imbalance? What about hyperthyroidism? What about hypothyroidism? All the different aspects of just the thyroid gland, the nutrition needed for the thyroid gland. There's a lot of different things that I can look at and say, how does energy affect that? And you might be thinking, but Lisa, nutrition in the thyroid gland, I don't know about nutrition, but you know about energy. So tell me, my friend, if our digestive system is energetically imbalanced, are we absorbing nutrients that the thyroid needs? Is it possible that you can think outside the box sometimes and think, how does energy in some way affect this? Because I can tell you from experience, everything is affected by our energy. Once you have those topics, even if you just create one or two for now, then I want you to create a know, believe, and understand for each of your topics. Start putting it into action. Feel what it feels like. All right. Now I have a few questions for you. Are you ready to be successful in your business? I know this is recorded. You're at home and I'm not there, but I want you to answer out loud. I'm going to ask you again, and I want you to answer this out loud. Are you ready to be successful in your business? Give me a yes. Are you able to dedicate 2 hours per week to make that happen? I think even if you're working outside the home, you can probably carve out 2 hours per week to make it happen. Because that's what I did, my friend. 2 hours per week is all I could afford. And that is what I used to transform my business. And you can too. What would being a booked out practitioner open up for you? I don't know how many slots you have open on your schedule. But if every one of those slots were filled each and every week, I want you to tell me, or tell yourself, what would that open up for you? Would you be able to quit a job? Would it mean that you would be able to take vacations with your family? What would it mean for you? What does it open up for you? What does your life look like as a booked out practitioner? And my last question here, do you want my proven pathway that took me from making $200 a week to over $3,800 a week in less than 3 months? Now I'm going to pause. This is not get rich quick. This is work. 2 hours a week worth of work, but it got me to this point in 3 months. And I have consistently been successful since that point. But I had to put in consistent work too. So if you are willing, if you're saying, yes, I'm ready to be successful. Yes, I'm willing to put the work in. And yes, I want to make a change in my business. Well then, my friend, I want to introduce you to Coaching Week with Lisa. This is a powerful coaching. It's Coaching Week because it's 5 trainings. I used to deliver this live. Unfortunately, I do not have the time to deliver it live any longer. So you have access to it's not the recordings of the live. I recorded each one for you special because I wanted to make sure I was giving the best content and the most up-to-date information. But Coaching Week with Lisa is the exact pathway that I use to turn my side gig into that thriving energy healing business. And this invisible bridge is step 1. So you can get all of that for $97. But let me tell you what's inside. First of all, you're going to get the replay of today's training so that you can re-watch it anytime you need or want to. That'll be tucked away in a safe environment. And then you're going to get the social media strategy that I used with the invisible bridge. So in that training, I talk to you about, and I give you examples of exact social pieces that I used. I give you a framework for creating the captions, for creating the copy that's on that social content. So this is the social media strategy that I use, that I created for myself and that I used, that got me to the point where I attract only the clients I want to work with. So you'll get that training. You'll get my secret strategy for onboarding clients to begin the healing process even before the session. This is critical. I know it sounds a little plain in writing, but I'm telling you, this is critical. This piece to onboarding clients changes the whole scape of your client base. Your clients will start healing before the session. Once they're done with processing after the session, they've been healing from before the session, during the session, and that processing time. The results are astounding, and I can't wait for you to learn it. Then you're going to get my gap strategy that I use to get the most permanent and impactful results possible, and that set me apart as a healer way back when. And this is why I get so many referrals. Half of my clientele at this point is practitioners. I am the practitioner for practitioners. That's again not my specialty. I never position myself that way because that's not really what I want either. I want to teach other practitioners, and then for my clients, the really difficult endocrine things, that's what I enjoy working with. And then you're going to get the art of rebooking strategy. This strategy keeps my rebooking rate at 93% or above. My rebooking has stayed at 93% or above for years. And this is because of this strategy. So I will teach you the art of rebooking. And along with, so you're going to get today's replay, the social media strategy that got me in front of all of those clients, the secret strategy for onboarding, my gap strategy to increase the actual session results, and then my art of rebooking. It takes you from start to finish with your clients. Now, I know you're probably thinking, but why would you want to share this with everybody else? Well, it's like I told you, there's millions, billions of people just waiting. Years ago, when I implemented these strategies, I got to the point where I was booked out 6 months ahead. I didn't feel like that was fair to my clients, and honestly, I was overwhelmed. So I shifted my gears and I started to create the Global Energy Method, which now I certify and train practitioners in very deep concepts so that they can teach, so they can reach the world. I also teach them business, how to be successful. And I've had people come in who had no business and are now thriving businesses. I'm not selling you Global Energy Method on this call. I'm just explaining, I'm sharing this with you because you are already a practitioner, right? You are valuable. What you do changes lives. And even if you're not a Global Energy Method practitioner, you have the ability to touch lives. And I want you to be able to do that. Because my passion ultimately is to change as many lives as possible. And you, my friend, I know already have skills and are able to make an impact. And so that is why I want to share this with you. I want to give credibility to energy healing as a whole. What happens when you don't have support is energy healing as a whole. It doesn't matter the modality. It doesn't matter if your emotion code, your body code, your Global Energy Method, your Reiki, whatever it is, it doesn't matter because energy healing will lose traction. Energy healing will use trust. People will begin to think, oh, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, what is that? It's so new. I don't want energy healing to get that bad rap. When people are charging different amounts, maybe someone's charging $10 a session and someone else is charging $200 a session, that right there devalues energy healing as a whole. As energy healers, we need to get this out there. Energy healing is the future of medicine, and you, my friend, are a part of that. What you do changes lives, and very few people can impact change like you can. Very few. You can get all this valuable content, those exact strategies that I used that you can implement this week in your business, all for just $97. There's a link below this video where you can sign up for Coaching Week with Lisa. It is a pre-recorded course. There is not a live element, so I want to be clear there, but it is packed full of information. In fact, I even show you real income information that I had when I implemented this. I show you what I made the year before I implemented it and the year I made the first year of implementation, and it's huge. And I show you my actual income down to the pennies. So, my friend, if you would like to get Coaching Week with Lisa, you can go ahead and click that link below, and I am excited to hear your success. If you have questions on this training, on Coaching Week with Lisa, or you just want to reach out to me, my email is lisa@globalenergymethod.com.